group transformation, isomerization. So these are the in previous lectures we have discussed that the enzyme basically catalyze the 6 type of reaction on the basis of which the enzyme has named by the enzyme has its particular EC number. But those reactions which catalyzed by the enzymes also influenced by the many factors like temperature, pH, inhibitors, also the substrate which is converted to the product, and all one of the main reason and सबसे important क्या है, that is the enzyme concentration itself. So these factors regulate the enzyme's activity or rate of the reaction in many ways. So today we have to discuss about these factors which affect the enzyme's activity and what are the optimum conditions for the better enzyme activity, and we will discuss these things in today's lecture. As we have discussed that the enzyme have a specific maximum velocity because at certain time it reached a Vmax, because this is called as the steady state. At this time the enzyme concentration become the enzyme and the substrate become the saturated level. Because the enzyme, the amount of enzyme present and the substrate is available, they form a enzyme substrate complex. So a Vmax is reached. That half is known as, in which the concentration Vmax, half Vmax cut the substrate, that is known as Km. I am saying this because later we have discussed about the inhibitors. So inhibitors change this velocity of the reaction. So I have revised this just for the, because we have to discuss this graph in inhibitors. So enzyme have a particular velocity and reached a maximum is known as steady state maximum velocity, because at this point enzyme, the available enzyme, all enzyme available are formed enzyme substrate complex, and there is a no left enzyme to form a new substrate complex. That's why this is graph is, yeah, this is state become and known as steady state. So lower the enzyme, as we lower the Km value, that means the enzyme can convert a small concentration into the products, while higher Km means enzyme needs high amount of substrate to convert into the products. So lower Km, that means the enzyme have a very specific or recognized as very low concentration, and high Km means they recognize large concentrations of substrate into the product, but they need or activated by a particular high concentration, which is known as Km value. So these are the factors which affecting the enzymes concentration or enzyme reactions to convert into the product, and these factors are the enzyme and substrate concentration, temperature, pH, radiation, that is light, activators, inhibitors, in product that is formed by the reaction. These are the main factors, and we have to discuss about the 5 in detail, that is the substrate concentration, enzyme, temperature and pH, and inhibitors. These 5 we have to discuss in detail in this lecture. So concentration of substrate, enzyme, temperature, pH, and inhibitors. These 5 we will discuss in detail. Now starting with the substrate. Obviously, a substrate which is converted to the product, when it increases, the number of collisions between the enzymes will also increase. So the enzyme reaction rate will also increase because it forms the more enzyme substrate complex. So more product is formed, and this will happen to the particular this is the graph between the rate of the reaction and substrate concentration. As we increase the substrate, the rate of the reaction which increases, and at a point it become a straight line, and this straight line because at this time, this is the peak we can say, or Vmax. It reached because all the available enzymes form a enzyme substrate. Because enzymes are limited, so they form the enzyme substrate complex. So at this time, all the available enzymes are now form a ES, that is enzyme substrate. So the no available enzymes is here to no enzymes are available to form an enzyme substrate complex. That's why after adding the substrate, we did not get the increase in a reaction rate. So this is the Vmax or steady state V at V. So easing or increasing concentration of substrate at last not affect the enzyme rate, and this is steady state. Initially it increases very fast, this is the reaction rate, but when all the available enzymes is form complex with substrate, then this become the steady state and become a straight line. So the available, all enzyme available.
मैम
हेलो,
मैम मुझे एक क्वेश्चन पूछना है इसमें।
क्या चीज?
मैम आपने कहा सबस्ट्रेट की कंसंट्रेट एक टाइम पे जब हम सबस्ट्रेट की कंसंट्रेशन बढ़ा रहे हैं
हाँ
सारे एंजाइम वो सबस्ट्रेट के साथ कॉम्प्लेक्स बना देंगे,
हाँ,
कोई फ्री एंजाइम नहीं बचेगा। लेकिन मैम रिएक्शन तो ऑनगोइंग होगी ना, रिएक्शन तो चल रही होगी, तो सबस्ट्रेट भी तो टूट रहा होगा ना प्रोडक्ट बनने के बाद, तब भी तो एंजाइम
substrate
मॉलिक्यूल्स
to,
फ्री हो रहे होंगे।
yes, but the complex which is all the complex is formed, and that time when a steady state is formed, the product is formed, and reactant जो that enzyme become available immediately from the complex. एक equilibrium जो maintain हो जाएगी वहाँ पे, it maintains a equilibrium, but the reaction will not increase because enzymes have become available, and then it is formed the available substrate. The peak that is the maintain is a 1 minute. At this time, when the steady state is formed, product is formed and enzyme become free. But when enzymes free, they will react with the substrate. The rate of the forming the product and the formation of enzyme substrate complex is in the equilibrium. So this will not increase because the product, as product is forming, the unite with the substrate, and at equilibrium, that is the substrate plus, because the available ES, sorry, I will explain this because the rate of the formation of product and the available enzyme is immediately bind with the available substrate, and this is the ES. While I am saying the available enzyme is not free because it that immediately form with the substrate, and the reaction rate is because initially enzymes are present in large number. So increase of substrate will increase the rate with the higher rates, but ultimately at last it not increasing. It will form a equilibrium or a steady state. The second thing is the increasing the enzyme concentration. Obviously, because the if the substrate is not the limiting factor, increasing of enzymes always increase the active sites or available. So the more the enzymes or substrate complex form, because the enzymes have active sites, so the more enzyme substrate complex form, and it form a rate of the reaction is increases. So as we increase the enzyme concentration, more active sites is present, more substrate enzyme complex form, and the rate of reaction is increased by this straight line. So rate of the reaction is increasing continuously, but the only limiting factor is the presence of substrate. If substrate is not sufficient, then this graph will also form a steady line. But when substrate is in appropriate amount, the reaction will increasing continuously. So rate of the reaction will increase continuously if substrate is available in a sufficient amount. The only limiting factor in this enzyme concentration effect is the substrate concentration. So increase of the enzyme concentration always proportional to the rate of the reaction and increases. The next factor, that is the temperature. Because every enzyme works at a particular optimum temperature which they are most active, and we all know that the human, our body, that is the have a temperature of about 37 degrees centigrade. So maximum enzymes active at this temperature of our body, because this is the our body temperature and they are adapted to this temperature, and they are have a most active at this particular temperature, that is the 37 degrees. Or other enzymes like plants also have a many enzymes. So all these enzymes have a optimum temperature. Generally, we all are perform any experiments of biochemical at room temperature, because they are active at most active at this time. Because at this optimum temperature, their molecular collision with increased temperature, they have a molecular collision will increase and their interaction, and there is a faster reaction. The activity of enzyme will progressively decreased by the decreasing temperature. They become the inactive, and or increase in temperature also decrease the reaction, because what are basic nature of the enzyme, they are made up of protein. At higher temperature, the structure of protein, because enzyme have particular 3D structure, have active sites at particular higher temperature, that is like in this, the rate of the reaction will increases with certain optimum temperature, but higher the sudden fall in the enzyme activity, because proteins become the denature, which are the basic structure of the, they form the basic structure of the enzyme. So at high temperature, because enzyme become the denature and modifies the active site, so enzyme does not work at higher temperature. And in low temperature, because as we know that we need certain energy for performance or starting of the reaction. At very low temperature, this lack of energy, due to this lack of energy, reaction will not occur and enzyme become inactive. That will happen in a daily process. We will do in food we store in refrigerator or freezer, does not slow, because they become slow is polished out by the, because enzyme activity is very slow at 4 degree or in freezer or 0 degree. So food is rate of food is spoil is very slow, because enzymes are inactive. Or similarly, the boiling contaminated of water will destroy the all the enzymes or bacteria. That's why they become the inactive, because all the enzymes present in bacteria or other microorganism become destroyed, so that water for drinking is safe. So refrigerator, we slow down the process of spoilage, because enzyme activity is very slow at that time, and in boiling we destroy all the enzymes. That's why that drinking water is safe. So high temperature, that will denature the protein and modifies the active site, while low temperature it does not, the enzyme reaction will not proceed and enzyme become inactive. So high temperature, like this is the active enzymes or protein, because enzyme are the basically protein except the ribozymes. So this has a 3D structure and with a active site. After, because high temperature, protein become unfolded or called denatured. Very high temperature also break this peptide bond and break proteins into the smaller peptides molecules. So when we increase the temperature, first of all, these foldings, this 3D structure will denature, and after more increasing the temperature, these enzymes which is formed by the basic structure of the proteins are the amino acids, and which is bind by the peptide bond. These peptide bonds and breaks and proteins become denatured into the basic smaller amino acids or small units of peptides. So they denature the structure of enzyme. The next thing is the pH. pH is also very important, and it's maintain the tertiary structure and disturb it. After changing the pH, the enzyme's tertiary structure is get disturbed and altering the active site, causing the decrease in the activity of enzyme. Because and everything that will affect the structure of enzyme, it will affect the enzymes activity, because enzyme activity is totally depend upon the active sites, because substrate is bind at that active site and ultimately they form a product, because at that active site the substrate become closer, as we discussed in the first lecture. So most of the enzymes active pH is known as the optimum pH, and that is the 7 pH, that is the pH 7 is the optimum pH. But there are the variety of enzymes which has a very lower pH to optimum, and some has a very high pH for the optimum level. So these are the list table showing the pH at which the enzyme become active. Like pepsin has a optimum pH of 2, and sucrase has 6.2, urease has 7.4, hexokinase has 7.5, trypsin has 8, and this arginase has 9.7. So changes in pH, as I've said, that they affect the active site and alter the enzymes structure, 3D structure. So these are the uh, pH at which these enzymes are the active. Why this pH is important, or how they alter the enzymes? If you have studied the basic protein structure, they have the alpha helix or any 3D any structure. Firstly, they are formed by the hydrogen bonding. These helix are joined by the hydrogen bonding, and as we increase the concentration, the positive charges are attached, because alpha helix are the either these are the if we add this hydrogen ion concentration, so alpha helix will replace the hydrogen bonds and protein become the unfolded. That will alter the tertiary structure, because first of all, every protein is formed of double helix, 2D structure, that is alpha helix or beta plated sheets. Then it will form a 3D structure. If basic structure, that is the alpha helix, hydrogen bonding get disturbed, then the enzymes or protein structure, tertiary structure is affected, that is the which have active sites. Due to this reason, unfolding of the proteins, active sites become. So pH alter the pH become unfolded the protein, and active sites is not available after increasing the pH, and alters the structure of proteins. So this is the main reason how this is the pH is affecting. And generally most of the enzymes are active at 7 to 8 pH, but as we have discussed that the pepsin has a 2 pH which at which it is active. So inosine states of the amino acid residue present in the active site. Why these pHs affect the amino acids present at the active sites? They have a certain isoelectric points which are maintained. When you will study the particular biochemistry of proteins, amino acids, you will study that the every amino acids had a certain isoelectric points for the pH at which they form a stable complex. So every amino acids had is different isoelectric points. So what type of amino acid present at the active site? For this reason, the pH is variable for the different enzymes, because amino acids which present out around the active site decide the pH at which the enzyme become the active. So that's why the pH is different for the different enzyme, because there is a different amino acids, and every different amino acids has a particular isoelectric point. That's why they have a different pH for the optimum activity. Like pepsin, as we have said that it is active on the 2 or 3, amylase between the 6 to 8, arginase from 10 to 12. All these because of the varying amino acids at active site, and they have a different pH. That's why when we perform the biochemical reaction or experiments in a laboratory for the activity of enzymes, we prepare a buffer solution. Buffer solution maintain a particular pH. At optimum pH, like uh, we have to determine the activity of pepsin. Then what a buffer we prepare that have the pH of 2 or 2.5, because increasing pH above that will denature the active site and does not form the rate of the reaction. So we prepare a certain buffer for the enzyme experiments, knowing that what is the pH is, or we can also perform the experiment of different pH to know the what is the optimum pH, because which pH gives the highest rate of reaction is the optimum pH for that particular enzymes. Now, the last one is the inhibitors. Inhibitors, as the name indicates, are the types of molecule that cause the enzyme to lose activity, because enzyme, as we all know, that as a protein structure, have active sites at which substrate are attached to this and proceed the reaction. So inhibitor may cause the temporary loss or maybe it permanent. On the basis of this, it is called as the reversible or irreversible. If it is cause a temporary loss, that means it is reversible inhibitors. Matlab they can enzyme can become active after the removal of the inhibitors. But certain inhibitors have a permanent effect and enzyme become permanently inactive. So they are called the irreversibles. So any substrate or molecule that slow down the rate of the reaction of enzyme controlled reaction affecting the enzyme molecule are inhibitors. They are the competitive and non-competitive are the categories. For the reversible, these both can be reversible or temporary type, and permanent, that means it is non-reversible. Sorry, I have mistakenly written here. So reversible one is the, that is name indicate, is temporary, and it's further categorized into the two categories: competitive inhibitors and non-competitive inhibitors. This is the representation of the how enzymes affecting the enzyme substrate competition. This is the irreversible inhibition, that is the permanent inhibition. This example is the metal or lead, any heavy metals like mercury or lead. Like this is the enzyme. It has a active, this is the active sites of the enzyme. So normal enzyme substrate binding, this is the enzyme and this is the substrate. In normal condition, enzyme bind with the substrate, but when inhibitor is present like the mercury or lead, any heavy metals which act as a inhibitor, so this inhibitor will bind to the enzyme and modify the structure of this enzymes, and its active sites is not available or altered by these inhibitors. So now enzyme is not available to bind with this active site because these inhibitors alters the basic structure of the enzymes, or because enzymes are the proteins, so these mercury or lead, they alter the enzyme basic structure, so active sites become altered and now substrate is unable to bind with on this active site, and these are the these effects are the permanent and irreversible, so reaction is ultimately slow down in this process. Like antibiotics, enzyme inhibitors are used to, in drugs we will use the inhibitors for fighting the different bacterial infection. Like penicillin, an example of irreversible inhibitors that bind with the bacterial enzyme which synthesize the its cell wall and slow the growth of the cell walls. Bacteria has a, if you are studying the cell biology also, so every plant cell or animal cell are made up of a cell, and cell is the animal cell just have the plasma membrane, while the plants and bacteria have a cell wall. And penicillin affect the enzyme that form the bacterial cell wall, and because bacterial cell wall have a certain specific enzyme proteins, amino acids that is not have a that, and that not have a and that not present in the plant cells also, or in or animal cells does not have any cell wall. So this penicillin just affect the cell wall of that bacteria because it has a name, or and alter the enzyme activity that is synthesize the cell wall of that bacteria, and without cell wall bacteria cannot survive and become dead because the basic structure of bacteria is it has a thick cell wall, then it has a plasma membrane and particular cytosol in which they have a nucleus. So without cell wall they are unable to survive, and because penicillin slow down the growth of the cell wall. Due to this reason, bacterial growth becomes slow, and ultimately uh, they are that not able to survive in that conditions. So this is the kind of inhibitor that is the penicillin, which affect the enzymes of the cell wall of the bacteria, and this is the irreversible inhibitor. It does not reversed, or it is the permanent. Now the reversible inhibition, as I told that the reversible inhibition is about two types: competitive and non-competitive. Competitive, obviously that means they compete with the substrate. Non-competitive, that means they does not compete with the substrate. So these terms, competitive and non-competitive, on the basis of the inhibitors. Competitive obviously is compete with substrate and occupy the active site of the enzymes. So it is the competitive inhibitors. It compete with the substrate. If the concentration of substrate is very high, the effect of inhibitors become negligible. But if substrate concentration is low, then inhibitors occupy the active sites, and this effect is, as here written, is reversible. When this uh, inhibitor is removed from this active site, the substrate can bind to this site and reaction can go on. So in competitive, substrate and inhibitors are competing for the active sites, and inhibitors occupies the active site and substrate can no longer bind, while increasing the concentration of substrate reduce the effects of inhibitors. While non-competitive inhibitors does not bind with the active site, but it alters the structure of the active sites. So substrate will not able to bind that active site because it alters the active site. So they are called as the inhibitors that are on another site, that is known as allosteric site, and changes the shape of the enzymes or active site of the enzymes, and now substrate is not able to bind. So here substrate, because the substrate not able to bind here, the concentration, if we increase the concentration, it is not working because enzyme structure is get disturbed. So here, after increasing the substrate concentration, we can if the reduce the effect of inhibitor by increasing substrate concentration, but non-competitive or allosteric inhibitor that does not bind with the enzyme active site, the concentration of increasing substrate does not work because it alters its active sites. But as I have told that these two are the reversible. If this inhibitor is removed, the shape of the enzyme is restored, and now at that time enzyme becomes the active. This competitive example is the leeches, which produce the pyridine, inhibit the production of blood clotting protein, and like the cyanide inhibits the enzyme involved in respiration. So cyanide is allosteric inhibitor that alter the active sites, and removal of cyanide will lead to the further restoration of enzyme activity. Similarly, another example is in liver, that is the enzymes competitive inhibitor involved in the alcohol dehydrogenase. We have heard that the many people are died due to the presence of टॉक्सिक जहरीली शराब जिसे कहते हैं, टॉक्सिक अल्कोहल, टॉक्सिक अल्कोहलिक बेवरेजेस. So because this enzyme oxidizes alcohol dehydrogenases, this enzyme also react with the ethylene glycol and methanol, that will cause the death of the which are found in the antifreeze and compete with the ethanol for active sites. So the alcohol dehydrogenase, which is these enzymes are, because these enzymes what they do, they compete with the active sites alcohol dehydrogenase with the ethanol. So they, ethylene glycol and methanol, are taking the position of ethanol or alcohol. So after increasing the ethanol, what we have to done in intravenous, and infusion of ethanol is done in these patients. So what will happen, because ethylene glycol and methanol are competing the sites of the ethanol, and this alcohol dehydrogenase is not working due to this reason. So when ethanol is inserted by the intravenous infusion, concentration of ethanol is increases, and due to this reason, because the substrate concentration, like it is a competitive inhibitor, so the ethanol is compete with that site, and the effect of the ethylene glycol and methanol are become slow or become the negligible, and patient will survive. So here ethanol is working as a substrate. Ethanol is the substrate, so the increase in the substrate reduce the effect of toxic metabolites like ethylene glycol and methanol. So here is the competitive inhibition, where which ethylene glycol and methanol that taking the active site of the LAD enzyme. So increasing the ethanol concentration, there is a more available concentration of ethanol is compete with the toxic ethylene glycol or methanol, and that is the competitive reversible inhibitors reaction. So these substrate are competing, and after increasing the ethanol, the patient will recover soon. Secondly, that is the non-competitive inhibitors, because as we have discussed that they will reversible, as we have discussed inside. So these inhibitors bind with the certain other point and modify the shape of the active sites, and like examples are the cyanides. So non-competitive inhibitor bind at a site on an enzyme. It called, and usually uh, these sites are the usually just remote or distant, matlab just opposite to the active sites and alter the sites of the reaction. So non-competitive inhibitors cause the conformational changes. I have said that they modify the active sites of the enzyme, and on because the active sites is become distorted or denatured, so substrate does not able to bind that active site and become enzyme become inactive. This is the substrate concentration rate of the reaction in both figure showing. So which one is showing the competitive inhibition and which is showing the non-competitive inhibitor? Because substrate concentration, after adding the substrate concentration, the reaction in competitive inhibitors, reaction will increases because inhibitors effect will reduced. So this graph is showing the effect of competitive inhibitors. Initially, its rate becomes slow, but after increasing the substrate concentration, it can attain a maximum height, because after adding the substrate, it compete with the inhibitor, and concentration of the reaction, rate of the reaction will increase. But in case of second one, that is the non-competitive inhibitors, because inhibitors alter the structure of enzymes. So Vmax, because if suppose here is the number of enzymes which are available at early is 100, but after the inhibitors, suppose it alters the 50% enzymes structure, active sites, so it rates become the slow by the half of the how much the inhibitors affected the active site, because although it is reversible when, but at that time when inhibitors are present, the reaction will slow down and Vmax will decrease. The substrate concentration increase will not affect this Vmax, because inhibitors have altered the basic structure of enzymes, and the reaction rate will slow down due to the non-competitive inhibitors, or also known as allosteric inhibitors, because they does not bind at the active site, they are bind at the, because this is the active site, and allosteric inhibitors or non-competitive inhibitor bind just opposite or at the remote or distant site of the enzyme and affect this active site of the enzymes. So this is for the competitive inhibitor, and this graph is showing the non-competitive inhibitors activity. Here, this is the combined. If there is a no inhibitor, this is the reaction is catalyzed by the uninhibited, and there is a no inhibition present. Competitive inhibitor, substrate concentration, increasing substrate concentration will decrease the effect of inhibitors, and Vmax is same in this case also, because increasing in substrate create competition with inhibitor, and it reduce the effect of inhibitor. But non-competitive inhibitor, because it alters the structure of enzyme, so the Vmax become uh, decrease, the rate of the reaction is slow down. So this is for the competitive inhibitors, and this graph line showing the non-competitive inhibitors. One question is very common. Vmax is altered by the so it does not alter by the competitive inhibitors, and non-competitive inhibitors Vmax is lower. So always remember that the competitive inhibitor does not alter the Vmax, that is the maximum velocity of the reaction, while non-competitive inhibitor reduce the Vmax, that is the velocity of the maximum velocity of the reaction. As we have already discussed that what is the reason, because in competitive inhibitors enzymes active sites are available and enzymes have to compete, so thereby concentration of after increasing the substrate concentration, Vmax is same and not, and maximum velocity can be achieved. But in non-competitive inhibitors, as we have said, I have said that because enzyme active site is become reduced, therefore maximum velocity does not achieve in the case of non-competitive inhibitors. These are the inhibitors. Some reactions products inhibitors are also external, or maybe the many reaction have an end product that inhibits the enzyme's activity, that is known as the end product inhibition. The product of that reaction, which is catalyzed by the enzyme, acts as a competitive inhibitor. Is not proceed in this type of reaction because it alter the active sites. So many reactions have the end product inhibition that alter the shape of the enzymes. Their product itself act as a competitive inhibition. So enzymes, like enzymes have the inhibitor, they also have some activators, so who can activate the enzymes. So enzyme activators are the chemical species that can bind with enzyme to increase its activity, just opposite to inhibitors. Like inhibitors, what they will do, they slow down the enzyme activity and decrease the activity, while activators increase the activity of enzymes. Like in hexokinase and glucokinase. So activators are the certain enzymes like heavy metals, cadmium, lead, they will decrease the active sites, while these ions like magnesium, manganese, zinc, cobalt, copper, sorry, this is the calcium, which is increase in the lipase activity, chloride in salivary amylase. So these activators, they increase the activity of enzyme. So these activators, when they are attached with the enzyme, they activate the active site of the enzyme, and enzyme becomes the more active. Many enzymes have a cofactor of these ions which work as a activators. And ultimately the last is the time. Every reaction needs a particular time. So under optimal condition, a particular ideal time is needed to complete that reaction. And the questions which one of you have asked, hello, you, at this is the steady state. I have told that at this point the formation of product and this point. Any other question?